Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. My name is Stacy.
I'm Amie.
And this is what we call a behind the curtain look of what we get up to as a couple, as family, and also as business owners. I have my own social media company, well, content creating company, I guess you can call it, called votion.co.nz, and Amie has her own women's fashion brand.
Yes, Miami.
Miami.com. So you can find us both on our socials and also at our own websites as well. So this is episode, I think, number 7.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
We've had a big break though, hey?
I know we've had a big break. I think a lot of things going on, which we'll talk about. But let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back again. Thank you again for joining us. Today's podcast is all about a bunch of different things behind the curtain of what we get up to, not only as a family, but also with our businesses as well. So Ames, as I said before, has her own women's fashion brand at Miami. A lot of challenges have been going on with Miami recently in terms of particularly with your product launches. So let's maybe talk about those. And so before we get into it though, we've got a few topics to talk about. But let's talk about our very first topic, which is our highlight of the week.
Oh, yes.
Have you had a highlight of the week this week?
Yeah, I probably have. So I've been busy doing sampling for the new collection for the summer range.
Yep.
And it's just always so cool to see your visions come to light, you know.
Yeah.
I have had quite a lot of issues with patterns. For the last collection, I was so lucky to actually get my samples and the patterns were perfect and we could just move forward straight away.
Oh, sweet.
But every single one of my designs this time have needed adjusting. So going back to the pattern maker, and it's all part of it. But one style in particular was just perfect straight off the bat. I sampled it myself and it just turned out amazing. And I just remember, trying it on and being like, fuck yes, like it just looked exactly how I wanted it. And that was the highlight.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
What about you?
Highlight of the week. Lots been going on, but I have done a bit of travel lately, as you know. Did a boys trip to the Gold Coast, which was amazing, and also had to go to work. Had to go to Sydney for work as well. So I'm a country manager for Speedo here in New Zealand, for a sporting brand here in New Zealand. So part of my role is having to go over and check out the new range, so as we do every couple of times a year. So head office is in Sydney, so go over and check that out. But the thing I loved about probably more so is the boys trip is, as you know, I love my connections with my mates.
Yeah.
What I call fills my cup up, I come back as a better person. So it was cool catching up with the boys. I had a lot I hadn't seen in, I don't know, some of them in probably maybe 10, 15 years.
So awesome that you still keep in touch though.
Do you keep in contact with much of your mates from school?
No, like all of my close girlfriends are from dancing days.
Yeah. So I still keep in contact with mates I used to go to school with. So about 20 of us at one point in time, during the whole time we caught up, they're all catch ups. And the good thing about it is that not only do you catch up with the boys and seeing how they are, but also, they've got families now, they've got kids, what they get up to and stuff like that. Like the thing is that the cool thing about it is like we might not have seen each other for like 10 years or whatever it was, but it feels like we could pick up a conversation if it was yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
totally,
you got friends like that. So, but just more importantly, just filled the cup and come back so happy, and it was so cool catching up with a lot of the boys, and we're having banter, and but it was good to. But also you appreciate what you do have, like listen to what the other boys have got and some of the struggles that they're going through. You sort of appreciates what you're, grateful for what we've got, here at home and with our kids and stuff. So, but so that was my highlight of the week. But anyway,
cool.
That was cool. So back into the land of reality now. So thanks to Mum, thank you for holding it down with the kids and stuff like that. I know it was never easy when doing parenting by yourself.
All good.
So,
Yeah. I mean, don't. You're not going next week, right?
Not a regular occurrence, you reckon? So that was the highlight of my week. So anyway, what's been happening with things at Miami, so with your clothing brand?
Yeah.
So as I mentioned before, it's been a few challenges for you in terms of our product release. We've got this sort of
I know, it's so annoying.
Bug flying around.
Like a little fruit fly.
But anyway, so there've been challenges. So what's been going on?
Yeah, so since we launched the spring collection, we harped on and on about, how it's like the new way of Miami moving forward, that we're no longer doing pre-sales and everything is going to be pre-made. So that was like my first pre-made collection. And I think we spoke or touched on it a little bit in the previous potty that things didn't really go as we expected in terms of sales. And and I think just over the last few months, I've really realised that I took it quite, I don't know whether you would say personally, but it just really affected my confidence within what I do, what I design, and just moving forward with, you know, like I should be. I mean, I am now, but for a long time, straight after launching that, I was kind of just sitting there waiting for sales, being like, fuck, no one's buying anything. Now I've got all this stock. And so I was trying different things like Labor Day sales and, just a few different things and still nothing coming through. And I think it just affected me more than I really realised at the time, to the point where I sort of pulled back from designing or moving forward with my next collection, which we're supposed to be launching this week. And just more so feeling like I'm too scared to make stock now. One, funds are running out to fund my new collection because no one's buying anything from the previous collection. And I'm too scared to make stock. I'm like, far out. I feel like I'm going to have to go back to pre-sales. So that is unfortunately what I do have to do this week, starting our new summer collection, is start out by selling some of the tanks and stuff as pre-sales. And that was a really hard decision for me to make because, like, how long did we go on about, yay, this is the new way forward, you know, we're more like a store now, we're holding all this stock. But then there's this other voice in my head that's just like, you just got to do what you've got to do right now, you know, to try and get by. So, something that really helped me was when I think I had a whinge to you about it at one point, and you were like, just keep making what you love. Just keep making what you love. And for ages, there was still that self-doubt coming into my mind being like, but people don't like what I love because that's what I did the last collection. I loved the last collection and nobody else did, you know. And it's funny because for ages I thought it was the price that was hindering people away from buying. But, you know, we had a huge sale for Labour weekend, which went for 5 days, and I didn't make one sale, you know. So maybe it's not that. It does take a knock to the confidence, right? In terms of designing and be like, oh fuck, is this actually what people like? Is this what people want to buy? Is this actually, you know, is it worth it? Well, then I really love this fabric, but will people love it? I know. And usually I'm just like, I do that Marie Kondo thing where, you know, she says if it doesn't spark joy, you just leave it, you know. And when I find a fabric, if I'm like, oh my God, I love it, then I'll use it. But I've had no confidence at all in what I'm choosing. So I end up running polls on my Instagram stories to try and get people's opinions and being like, oh, okay, so people like that, which is just so dumb because those people don't come back and buy, you know. I relaunched the white Luna tanks. You know, so many people are like, oh my God, I need one. I'm definitely going to grab one. So I did all of this research into what sizing people wanted, got them all made, sold 4, and I'm still sitting on like, I don't know.
A bunch,
yeah.
So the great thing is about that, it's going to be carryover anyway. So the good thing is about they're a staple piece.
They're not going out of fashion, and exactly.
They're a staple piece of your range, like a core collection. So, so the good thing is you can continue on those. With women's fashion is really challenging.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know. I guess it's like, you know, Israel is saying you just lost in the weekend, like, you know, so does he think, oh, maybe I should stop fighting because what if he beats him? What if I get beaten again, you know? Like, I thought I had a strategy, but that strategy didn't work. And, you know, so I think it's probably like that as well.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to sort of, you know, compare it to something else. But, I guess it's just like that. You know, they always say it's not how many times you get kicked off the horse, it's how many times you get back up.
Yeah.
You know, so what's your thoughts now going into your new range? So have you sort of overcome those fears now, or are you still, like, when you're designing your next range?
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to kind of get back to how I used to feel when I was designing, and just trying to get more excited about this new range. I'm not going to have the entire range ready this week to launch, because as I say, with all the pattern making and stuff, that's been about 5 weeks in the making, 5-week chunk of time with patterns going to backwards and forwards. But I will be doing these tanks this week. But I just don't have my hope. I find that I just don't have my hopes up on anything, which is probably good to have no expectations, but it's almost to the point where I'm like, oh, no one's going to buy anything anymore.
But remember what we talk about manifesting, right?
Yeah, I have to get rid, because that's the energy that I'm putting out. So what's going to happen,
Exactly right. Yeah, the energy, exactly whatever you put out, you get back tenfold, So you just have to keep saying, okay, that was that range, this is the next one, right?
Yeah.
And so how are you now also, so we got the new range. So the other thing we haven't done photography or anything, we haven't done any shoots of it at all, so just waiting for the samples to come back, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. Well, we've got a plan for that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can get those up on the website. But the other thing as well is like identifying who your client is and who your customer is.
Yeah.
Have you done any analysis around that?
Not really. I mean, and that's something that I think we had a brief discussion on, saying like, okay, so why hasn't this last range sold very well? It's obviously not really the pricing. And then we kind of discovered that maybe we focused too much on the product and not our customer.
Which is it's a contradiction to what you're saying before, because you're like, oh, I just want to make it because this is what I love.
Yeah.
But then we're like, well, fuck.
Why don't you love it?
Why? Why we're not focusing on the customer?
Exactly.
Like we're talking about the product. So there's that you get that fine balance of knowing who your customer is and also knowing what the product is right for that customer.
Yeah.
But in terms of identifying who your customer is, there's so many different, like we should be doing, like you and I need to do a strategy plan around it. Maybe we film it as well, film the strategy plan in terms of how do you identify a customer, and there should be some like a whole lot of analysis around it. We should actually know make up a name for the lady who we vision is the name of that person, the age of that person, what they do for a job or a career, or how much money they potentially could be making, like their household income, where do they hang out, what kind of restaurants do they like, what do they do in their, like in their pastime, like what are their, their hobbies, all that sort of stuff helps you maybe target market that audience. I mean, you've created this product. Okay, now where does my product fit in the market? And when you find that that customer, then you can start target marketing in social media. For example, what apps does she use? Does she use Instagram? Is it TikTok? Is it Facebook? Whatever it is, and then you could create ads around that or content for her around that. It could be an example, and I think we've spoken about this before. Hey, look, if you got like one of your posts could be about, hey, are you looking to go out, for a girls' dinner this weekend or coming up or whatever? And be like, oh yeah, I am. And then you can and then funnel them to your website. All your content should be funneling everybody to your website, because that's where obviously they're buying, because you don't have a shop. Yeah. So how do we funnel people to your website? And if it's capturing them by saying, are you going out for a girls' dinner? Are you struggling for outfit ideas?
The perfect outfit for you, yeah.
Yeah, or it could be, are you into yoga? Do you want to do are you into meditating? Are you into all the different things that they could potentially be into? You want to try and attract them to your website, and that's where you have what you call blogs, so you can write, or vlogs, or any kind of content around anything could be channeled to your website, because ultimately what you want to try and get is eyes on your website, and then gives them an opportunity to buy. And the other thing is, they say it takes 20 touch points before somebody reacts takes action. And what that means is that you may have to put out so much content that they see it at least 20 times for them to react. And it could be on TikTok, for example, a TikTok post could be, here's an outfit idea, a bunch of different outfits, and there's real fun TikToks that they just click their fingers and they've changed their outfits, or, like they're walking in one frame and then to the next frame, they have different outfit on, like it looks like they're just doing a loop, but different outfits. So all these different things. And then they're on, I don't know, they could be on Instagram. And again, they see some photos of your product, and everything just links to meamie.com.
Yeah.
And this is why, one of the reasons, to be honest, is why we're doing this podcast. It's just, again, content. They could be driving along to work, or dropping off the kids, or going for a walk on their own, or going to walking the dog. They want to listen to something while they're walking, and it's all the content that we're putting out. It's just giving them probably the biggest thing is you can do is give value as a brand. And I think anybody out there listening as well is that if you've got a brand, the biggest thing is providing value, and people will then support you in some sort of way, whether it be they were like, oh, actually Ames has given me so much value in her podcast and her, you know, like in her stories, Instagram stories or whatever it be, that they want to provide, they want to give back to you, and giving back to you might just be buying a simple singlet. They don't want to give you money just for the sake of giving you money, but they can just might want to say, actually, I'll buy a singlet because she's, you know, given me so much value. And so I think for any business owner out there that is listening, you know, that's some sort of little tip as well.
Yeah.
And I think we've got to start doing more about that, because as you mentioned before, a lot of it's just been driven around product. And also, but more so importantly, just about, okay, how can I get $1? How can I get money? And if anything you do is driven by money, then you're going to fail. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
But if you're driven by giving value and providing value and entertainment, or because that's why people follow you or listen to you, because you either provide value or entertainment.
Yeah.
And if you can do one of the two, then you've got an audience. If it's all about being an eye specialist, I do this and I do that and I'm great at this and look at me, what I've done, you know, people are not really into it. And again, if you are starting a business, think about those strategies as well. And I think we need to think more about that.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, that whole lot of things about, at the moment, we're just either money driven or just thinking, this is what our product driven and are not about value driven.
No.
And I think like if we're being really open and honest in terms of, and I keep telling you got to do more about providing value, and then part of that is outfit changes, you know, outfit ideas. But you have, and I know we've talked about this, and I'm pretty sure you'd be okay talking about it as well, is that you kind of have not fear, but you think, again, doubt comes in.
Yeah, especially recently, like, I could be over in my studio making reels of that collection that I can't sell, you know, but because my confidence just taken a massive dive, I'm like, okay, it's like I've just decided in my mind, okay, no one loves it. No one likes it. I'm just going to forget about it. You know?
But the thing is, you've still got the product and you still need to move it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you got to still keep, you know, popping it up. So it doesn't have to be over the top. It could just be a reel about going out with the girls this weekend, or going out with Stace, or whatever, you know, we're going out, you know, or could just be going out for lunch, and this is my outfit for today.
Yeah.
And whether you talk about, you know, if it's a Miami piece or not, that's irrelevant. You know, it's just about the whole fit. You know?
I think we need to plan some more content days as well, because otherwise I'm just, you know, making samples all day or whatever, and then I'm like, shit, I haven't made a reel for like a week, or you know.
Because there's also a thing called content stacking as well. So what content stacking is like, we select a day of the week, and we just create a whole lot of content for that week. And it's just, you do it all in one day. You know, it could be a podcast, and then it's a couple of reels, and then it's like doing a photo shoot. So we're stacking it all. So then I've got the content, or you've got the content to drop on the next few days, or for the next week.
Yeah.
And again, so that way it just saves you time. So as opposed to waking up thinking, fuck, what am I going to post today? You know, like, because we've content stacked, we've got all this content tucked away, ready to go for you to be able to post it on every day, you know. So
that would be so helpful.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to just be about visuals as well. It could be, you know, writing a blog for the day or for the week, you know, like. And you started doing that. Do you want to talk a bit more about your blogs that you used to write? I mean, it was called the Miami, what is it? The
Miami Loves,
Miami Loves.
I just haven't been consistent with it. Yeah.
And that's the key thing as well, that we are not good at. Like, I'm the same as well. Consistency, and I've got it even on my I've got it my screensaver.
Wallpaper thing,
Consistency over perfection, and it's so true. Like, if you're consistent, there's so many things that comes from that. It's like this thing I heard, and I'm probably going to fuck this up, but there's a thing like there was a little bit of a story here, but there was a class, right? The photography class, and the tutor split the class into two groups. I said to one group, okay, guys, on this group A, we want to take your best photo. Just do one photo and do the best photo you can possibly do. You've got 7 days to create the best photo that you think you can create. Group B, I want you to create as many photos as you possibly can. Don't worry about how great they look, but just produce as many photos as you can to then come up with the best photo that you've got. And at the end of the 7 days, what ended up happening was that Group A overthought it so much that they ended up just just doing a terrible shot because they overthought it so much. But group B, because they did it so many times, they learned, okay, that didn't work. Okay, next one, oh shit, that didn't work. Oh, what if we tweak this? Then over time, so over the period of 7 days, they created so much content that they ended up producing the great photo that they thought they had made. So that's what we're saying is consistency over perfection. And what we are doing, because we are two things. I think we are perfectionists, or I'm pretty much am, but we're also self-doubters, and we think, fuck, if I put this out, are people going to like it?
Yeah.
Or, you know?
And then before you know it, you're just paralyzed and you're not doing anything.
And they say paralysis by analysis by saying you get paralyzed by analyzing what if I just won't even do it.
I just won't,
you know?
Right, yeah.
And it's so many people are like that, particularly creators.
Yeah.
You know, like as opposed to thinking, fuck it, I'm just going to put it out there and see what happens and just put it out, but not see what happens, just put it out and just being consistent and not even worrying about, okay, that one's done, move on to the next one. You're always thinking forward.
Yeah, yeah.
And so as creators, I think we are, you know, like you said, paralyzed by overthinking shit as opposed to just thinking, just do it and just see what happens. You know, so I think having a calendar and a schedule, but more importantly, sticking to it. Because how many times have we woken up and go, like last week, right? Our intention last week was to create podcasts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Every day. Are we doing it? Yeah. Oh, I've just got to do this thing first.
We have to do it on Friday. Then it comes to Friday. You're like, I'm going to work. And, what about the podcast?
Not in the zone today.
Yeah, not in the zone. Let's do it on Monday.
And so that's why here we are today.
Whereas, like, the thing is, and that's because we can do it with ourselves, you know, like, whereas if we actually had a meeting to go and meet somebody else to record, like you with Kirby, you know, going to meet with him for a podcast, you wouldn't message him and go, oh, bro, I'm just not feeling it today. It's still Monday,
Right.
You know, you'd still go.
But because it's just us two, we're like, we're happy to let ourselves down.
Yeah.
There's always a thing like, and there's another thing. I'm all about analysis. I'm all about references today. So the thing is, if you were to wake up tomorrow morning and go, okay, tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, I'm going to go work out. You know, by myself, I'm going to do it. Alarm goes off, 6:30. I'm like, actually, can't be fucked. No one knows. So I'm just not going. I'll do it later. But if you're saying, I'm meeting my friend at the gym at 7 o'clock, you'd much rather let yourself down than let your friend down.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Isn't that weird?
It's fucked, yeah.
And we're our own worst critic as well. So. Yeah, it's funny that we're like, no one's really paying it. No one's really keeping me accountable to putting out these podcasts. So there's no real point in me doing, who cares? No one's really waiting for it.
No one's missing us.
So it's really weird. So I think we need to be more disciplined in terms of, okay, fuck, I need to get this done today.
Yeah.
This is to-do list, okay, action it, you know, like, so would you agree on that?
Yes, totally. Yeah. I feel like we just massively need to get back on track. Like I'm just... Yeah.
Maybe this is the week we do it.
Yes.
So having a to-do list, writing a to-do list down, okay, these are things I need to do. Because that's the greatest feeling as well, right? Like when you tick
ticking
something.
it off, yeah.
Ticking it off, man. It's a good feeling of ticking it off. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
why didn't I do that ages ago? You know?
Yeah. I've been fucking around on this for like 2 weeks. Why didn't I do it ages ago?
That's the thing. So,
So what's the haps with Votion?
Yeah, lots going on. Well, there is and there isn't. Like again, like you. So with Votion, Votion is like, for those first listening out, listening for the first time, Votion for me is what I call a visual emotion. Everything you look at creates an emotion within you. So I smash the two words, visual emotion, together and creates Votion. So what Votion is, it's for the creators, you know, the go-getters, the people that want to get after it, but also the people that, are just also out there trying to do something different for themselves. And so the great thing about the word Votion, the word doesn't exist. And so I'm quite lucky in that way I can sort of create it how I want it to be. Yeah. So my plan with Votion is that I'd love to be able to create content, but as I've created content, I'm starting to realize the content I like to create. And I want to create cool, great content. So I'm quite lucky I'm dealing with a lot of the All Blacks in terms of helping creating their content, social media content in particular. But I'm also working with a guy by the name of Kirby Taveta, and he's a really cool tattooist, as you know, and he's done a really great piece on me. So I'm doing a bit of content for him, but also want to do something for myself. And I'm stuck in my ways in terms of what I need to be doing. Like I've written things down I need to do. Like I've got pages and pages of things I need to do. But for some reason, something is stopping me from doing it. And it's like, I think like you were saying is that I get caught up in just being, no one knows, so I don't really need to do it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so easy to think, oh, no one cares, not waiting for me to do anything. So
especially if you've got other work to do for other people too. You're like, oh shit, I'll do that for them first. Again, it goes back to the, you'll like pull out all the stops to do something for somebody else, but then when it comes to you, just let yourself down.
100%.
Yeah.
And then because I'm working, 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 for my, actual daily job, I'm getting an income anyway. So I'm kind of like, so this Votion is, when you look at it, it's pretty much a hobby.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not doing, because I'm not doing anything to create an income. So I was like, well, how can I expect to make it anything if I'm not fucking doing anything? And it's frustrating. And it's just like, I beat myself up every day. Like, I know I should be doing this, but why are you not doing it? What's stopping you from doing it? Anyway, so I want to just do a bunch of content for Kirby and his tattoos. I want to do some content for myself as well. So again, doing my own podcast, and I love doing these podcasts with you and I.
Yeah.
It's a good way to chat, but I need to build more tutorials. So that's the thing I'm going to focus on. Do tutorials. Yeah, about how I create content, and but then I love having fun just by creating reels. I want to do more about. Just a reel of my day, just about what I get up to.
Yeah, like those little daily quick, they were daily vlogs. Little short daily vlogs. They were so cool.
The ones I did a couple years ago?
Years ago, yeah.
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 So I want to get back into doing those. That'll be cool as well. And that's something you should do as well.
Yeah, I should.
Because you want to start a vlog too, right?
Yeah, I'd be keen to start vlogging.
Again, what's your thought process? I can see you just...
I know. I just, it feels like I'm always making up excuses, but I also just don't want to be like, right, I need you to edit this vlog every day, to you, because I know you've got other work to do. With reels, I can do that myself. That's all good. And I mean, I can do, there is no excuse why I can't do a daily reel, just quick as, and a lot oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. People must be so frustrated listening to me. Frustrated, but I will quite often think to myself in the morning, oh shit, I'll do a daily vlog today or just a daily reel of my day, and I start filming it, and then I fucking forgot about it by 10 o'clock, and then I'm like, oh shit, the reel, that's right.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It happens to everyone because you've got so much going on, trying to run a family and, like, oh, fuck, I'm meant to film that, so that's why I think content stacking is probably going to be the best one.
Yeah.
Like if we just do a day in the life of, and I follow you around, dropping the kids off, coming back home, working from home, and then you go out to maybe a meeting or going out sourcing fabric and then doing a photo shoot kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I think we need to plan that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, definitely plan that. So let's write that down and get into doing that. But what was we talking about just then? Talking about
where you're going with Votion.
Yeah, so next thing I want to do is start putting out merch as well.
Yeah.
I love the whole process of putting out clothing.
Yeah, you really enjoy that. Like I can see it in your mood and everything when you're designing your different t-shirts and doing all that.
Yeah, it's so much easier for guys as well to do product as well. I just get a plain blank t-shirt, I design a print on the computer, and then I can just get it done, So I just want to put out merch just to sort of more than just, again, it could be another stream of revenue. This is what I'm going to try and do. So, and then show the progress or the process of how to put out a clothing range, because I'm sure other people out there will be wanting to do it as well. So I've put out one range already and went pretty good. It was quite cool. I really enjoyed doing that, which can be found at votion.co.nz. So check that out. So I just really want to dive into a bit more about that, and also photography. I love photography as well. So I want to go and do more of that. And we've got a beautiful country. There's no real reason that I shouldn't be able to take photos of cool things. But, so that's the progress with that.
A lot of things that we should be doing.
Oh, you know what we are? We are the I am specialist.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
guy.
Fuck. So I think what I do, I know here I am talking about me. I'm an eye specialist, you reckon? How I know how I operate better if I have a list to do, wake up my list.
Yeah.
And then just check that list off, you know, like as opposed to going, get back to, what fucks me most is emails.
Oh, yeah. You mean work emails?
Both, yeah. So if I see an email pop up, I'm doing something and a friend can send an email pop up and I'll be like, oh, just see what this email is here. So, and before you know it, like, I'll just get rid of that email, get back to what I'm doing. And before you know it, you're fucking, hours deep into that email, and then you're on other things rather than what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So, I need to turn the emails off and then just again block out time, just time blocking. Yeah. And then maybe come back, check emails at certain periods of the day, maybe 3 times a day. So
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to try and do that. Definitely going to try.
I don't know what our camera's doing.
Okay, so, cameras. Hang on, just going to turn the cameras off. Hang on a second. Okay, and back. We just had to restart the cameras because they cut out after half an hour. So, just getting back to what we were talking about. Yeah, so a plan is what we need.
Yes.
A checklist of what we need to do for the day, and consistency over perfection. Definitely the one.
Yes.
But yeah, other topic I want to talk about this week, and maybe it's a couples thing that you and I, we're trying to do a bit regularly, is communication.
Yeah.
Couples communication. I know that's a big thing for you as well, because obviously you're...
It's something that I've never really been good at,
Communicating?
Yeah. I feel like you're quite a good communicator most of the time.
Sometimes,
but you can also go inside your head big time as well. But I've got better with, I think it comes down to us communicating what we find difficult. Like me saying to you, I find it difficult to speak up when I feel like you're in attack mode or you're in a bad mood, and then I'll just shut down. I won't say nothing, or if I feel like you're going to judge me, then I won't say nothing. So you've got better at receiving that, so then I open up more and can talk to you more. It's just like that chat that we had last week, which was just off the cuff.
Super casual.
And
it was a talk about trust issues.
Yeah.
We really gave honest feedback about it and why we think we've got trust issues, and we worked through it, and we just sort of there was no judgment, eh?
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah, it was. And I think I said to you after that chat, I would never have been able to talk like that, beforehand, but because I know that it's more of a safe space with you now, most of the time. It's easier for me personally anyway to open up and talk.
Yeah, and I think, and the funny thing is that we don't often work on relationships. We just expect them to happen.
Yeah.
Like we work on ourselves in terms of we go to the gym to look better, feel fit. We work on, we go to university or we educate ourselves. But as a relationship, we don't really tend to work on it. Couples in general, not just you and I, but in general, I've never really done it before. People say, oh, you go into therapy, it's weak and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you only go to therapy if something's wrong.
Right. Yeah. But, like what we've done is a few times, and I really enjoyed it, is that, I've done a lot of work on myself in terms of like this year I want to be the best shape of my life, not just physically, but more so mentally and spiritually. And I think that's helped then again in our relationship because I've understood who I am and being self-aware, and then to be self-aware to then be vulnerable as well. And with you and I, like.
I think we both have, like with us both kind of going down a bit of a, doing the work journey over the last, 18 months or something like that. It's helped our relationship hugely because we've done the work on ourselves and then and been doing it kind of together as well, and that's why I always say I'm so glad, well you say it as well, I'm so glad that we're on the same wavelength all the time. You can have, be in a partnership with somebody who is going to go do the work and the other one thinks that they don't need to do the work and,
it's not my problem. Oh, you're the ones with the problem.
You're the one with the problem. You need to go to counselling because you're blah.
But yet you keep still fighting and arguing, bickering. Yeah,
and it's that old saying of when you're pointing the finger like that, it's 1 at them and 3 back at you. So you've got to have that self-awareness. And that's just helped us hugely.
Yeah, and also talking, like we've even done like taking time out for ourselves. We go and spend weekends just the two of us. Like that time when we went away up, I think we went over to that little Airbnb. That was really cool.
That was so cool.
We were just up north for a little bit, and what we just thought, we'll just go away for the weekend. And we really wanted to, we went in there with intentions, right? Of, okay, what intention do we want to have for this weekend away? And it was both of us really come to the conclusion of just being able to be sitting in a safe space and being open and vulnerable and just chatting, and just, not feel like you're going to get attacked. And we came away from that weekend just super connected, just because we had great chats. And I don't think if we'd done it here at home, it wouldn't have been the same kind of thing because we're too distracted about what's going on. Got the kids, like something going, or you could be sitting on the couch, we could be chatting, and then you see something in the corner in your eye, go, fuck, I need to do that. I need to clean that.
Yeah.
So you're not really in.
Yeah. Oh shit, my show's about to start. Let's talk about this on Monday.
Are we wrapped up? Are we good? Okay.
Yeah, you finished, sweet.
Yeah, whereas at that place, it was just more about there was no distractions. It was just hanging out. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it was just cool. Sometimes we just sat there and not even saying anything. It was just hanging out. But because, you know, the first night we had some great chats, you know, just really opened up and vulnerable. And yeah, doing that on the regular, I think really helps, you know.
It's funny how are we coming up 12 years together or 13 years together in February?
Yeah, somewhere around 12. Yeah, let's just say 12.
It's funny how after 12 years, we still spoke about things that weekend, which was only a few months back or whatever, that we've never ever spoken about before, you know?
Yeah, it's always been an underlying issue.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then we've sort of, you know, like, the worst is that when you have arguments and you bring that shit up, you know, like, that's the worst, right? So you got to have these conversations when you're not heated and not drunk.
That used to be one of our issues back in the day when we first met. Fucking hell, we used to go out on the piss all the time, and then insecure Ames would come out and jealous Stacy.
But no, I think you got to keep working on a relationship, right? Like, just keep having, you know, honest chats without judgment.
Yeah.
You know, like being right. And as soon as you felt like you're being judged, like you said before, you're just like, okay, just shut down, say nothing, you know, which is not helping in the relationship at all.
Nah.
And so, but also, just acknowledging each other, how they feel. Like, I appreciate you saying, being honest and open, as opposed to going, what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean that's not how it is at all?
See,
you know?
I've got a bad tendency to do that. Like, if I'm telling you how I feel, you'll be like, and then you'll reply. Whereas if you tell me how you're feeling, I'll be like, what? No, it's not like that. And you're like, that's how I'm feeling. Just let me talk. That's how, you know. Yeah. It's like my instant reaction to be like, no, like I want to defend it straight away. No, that's not like that.
Yeah, as opposed to just sitting there listening and then, okay.
Because I feel like if I sit there and listen and go, then it feels like I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, right.
But it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It's just for any future arguments, it's not like that.
I may be nodding, but inside I'm saying,
but inside
no.
I'm like this.
Giving me fingers here again. But so that's one thing I could suggest to any couples out there. It's definitely something you got to work on, because like I say, we work on ourselves in terms of either going to the gym or whatever it be, but we just expect our relationship to be great without doing anything, and you can't think like that, eh?
Yeah,
you got to work on it.
You got to water the flower bulbs.
There we fucking go. Analogies, all right.
Yeah.
But that was cool convos that we had last week, and it was just like, oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
So
and it wasn't like, right, I need to talk to you. It was just.
Straight away. That's the thing, though. Someone is like, okay, we need to chat. I was like, fuck, here we go.
Shit.
Okay, guard goes up, you know, defense straight away. How did that conversation start? I don't even know how it started. It just came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's just, sometimes just casually, just have a casual conversation.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Sometimes, like me in particular, like if we do have and you know, like you want to talk about something and I'm not in the mood to talk about it, you keep pressing, and that just makes me even more annoyed. But then if we sleep on it and then I'm okay, now I'm ready to chat. See, the thing is, you want to get it resolved straight away, right?
My thing is, and I think it's the same for so many females, I want to know that you're not shitty with me. So I'll be like,
the All Blacks lose.
Have I done something? The All Blacks lose. And I'm like, why are you in a mood? Have I done something? You're like, no, just fucking leave it, all right? No, just.
Yeah, that's so true though.
But I think it's a female thing. And as soon as I know, like, I don't care if you stay in a bad mood. If you're like, no, it's not you. I'm like, okay, sweet. I'll let him be in his bad mood.
But at the same time, but from a guy's point of view, what if it is you, but I don't want to talk about it right then, because I know if we go, then we're like, it's a yelling match. No. Whereas if you just let it slide, it could have been, hey, this is how I felt at that time. So why can't you do that?
I don't know. I don't know if this is all females, but I can't, because then it just festers. Like, you start to just overanalyze it big time in your head. Like, was it this? Did I do this? Oh, maybe not. Did I not fold his clothes right today? Did I?
Here we go. This guy. Oh, here we go. But from a guy's point of view, we're thinking about a whole lot of different things, and things like providing for the family, shit's going on at work, something that's happened, I don't know, just there's all these different things that guys could be thinking that, because as guys, what we want to do, we want to feel like providers.
Yeah.
And if we feel like we're failing as men, then we feel like we're letting our family down. We don't feel like we're manly enough. We don't feel like we are, what's the word I'm looking for? All these different thoughts of negativity. And I think that's why a lot of guys don't speak, because they don't want to feel like they're useless, because we want to be able to know that we can protect our family, and sometimes we may be having these thoughts that, just sometimes yelling match isn't yelling it out of us is not going to, why can't you just talk? You know what I mean? That's not the way. It's like you could, and the way you could approach a guy like, so if you think if you think I'm in a mood or something like that, instead of saying, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Like, instantly you'll be like, oh, no, I'm all good. But it's like, hey, Barbara, just noticed that you're a bit down at the moment. Is everything okay? That's a better approach to a guy, as opposed to, oh, why are you so pissed off? What's grumpy? Why are you grumpy? Is there something I've done? Is it something, like, hey, babe, is everything okay? I just noticed you're a bit down at the moment. You're not your normal self. Is there anything I can do or help with? Like that approach to a guy is way better than trying to just make him feel worse than he already is, because he knows, fuck, I'm letting the family down, or letting myself down, or I can't do what I need to do, or if something's going on in the guy's head, is if they get attacked more, then they'll just go inside themselves more. So from a guy's point of view, we already know we're fucking up. We don't need to know more. We don't need to be like, well, what is it? Why can't you? Was it me? Is it, whereas the female, you're guessing, is like, you want to know why they're in a problem, why they're in a mood. So you want to know straight away, instantly you attack, like, oh, you fucking, why can't you just fucking talk? Good. And then the guy just blows up, and next thing you know, you're screaming match. Kids are looking at you guys and they're looking at us screaming. There's so many different ways that conversation can be handled. Yeah. And sometimes guys don't know how to express themselves. And so they don't know how to express their emotions, because they were brought up not to express their emotions. They were brought up to say,
it's weak if you talk about how you feel.
Right. Yeah. So that as an issue as it is, as itself, is that we don't know how to express our emotions. So sometimes we don't know what to say. We don't know. And to say that, oh, I'm struggling with this, again, that's another sign of weakness. So instantly, from a guy's point of view, there's so many factors to a communication, so so to be able to communicate for a guy is not always as easy, because girls, they catch up all the time. They talk about their feelings. They talk about that's why I enjoyed catching up with my mates. When I was talking about when we went to the boys' trip, we did have some good conversations that fucking chicks do all the time, but guys don't want to feel vulnerable. Nah. They don't want to feel weak. They don't want to show weak signs of weakness.
And that's quite often what you see. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but when there's a breakup happens, the girls usually the female ends up dealing with it better than the male, because she goes and she talks to her girlfriends, she talks to her mum, she gets it all out and gets advice from everybody. Whereas the male is just like, fuck that bitch, and just goes out and gets on the person, like.
The way to get over somebody is to get on top, under somebody, is that what they say? So in terms of a tip to talking to guys is, don't come in an attacking mode. Just, because I think it's hard for females to think that, because they just want to get the problem resolved straight away,
Yeah, especially if someone like me hates conflict. I freaking hate it. Like, I am very avoidant when it comes to what's it called, attachment style or whatever. I'm the avoidant big time. I would rather do anything than rock the boat or
and
have a difficult conversation.
And you want to get it resolved straight away. Whereas some guys just need to go, okay, I don't want to talk about it right now. Can we come back to it? So would that be okay with you? Like, if I said to, okay, I don't want to talk about it now, can we come back to it? Would that make it worse for you?
Yeah, because I need to know what it is.
Oh, fuck.
I just need you to be like, oh, it's just some shit going down at work.
Yeah, well,
Are you more so meaning if it was about us?
Well, maybe at the time. Like, sometimes you might be pissed off at your missus and you just don't want to talk about it right then, because fuck, I'm going to blow up, and I especially with the kids around, and we can end up having this fully screaming match because both of people are on defensive, What the fuck do you mean, like, whereas if you let shit just cool down for a second, or for, like for a little bit, and then come back to it, hey, I just want to say, this is where I'm at with you, like, because guys, again, ego gets in the way. I mean, a lot of guys, pride gets in the way. They don't like saying, they don't want to say, having these I guess not the word apology, or just saying, I'm sorry for being a dick before, like that's sometimes hard for guys as well. Exhibit A. Me.
Exactly.
So that, again, that's ego. That's ego in the way, and pride, and I guess maybe that's a star sign. I'm a Leo.
Did we say you're a Leo?
Yeah. So that I really enjoyed, when we do have our chats, it's cool, but just in terms of talking to a guy, that's how that's our thought process.
And next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking about how to talk to a female.
Well, I'm all for it. That's keep tuning in, team. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, so good chats.
Good chats.
Some good topics, lots of things to do. So what have we learned from this chat?
Well, we need to start getting organised and have a content day.
Consistency over perfection. And action over
things. And water the flower.
Fucking anyway. All right, team, that's us. Thank you again for joining us, for checking in. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Check out Amie at miami.com or my page as well, it's Stacy Tapsall on Instagram or votion.co.nz. And thanks again for listening. Hit the subscribe button and can't wait to see you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace.